The morning sunlight streamed through the curtains, casting a soft glow over the dining table where Nellie sat, absent-mindedly stirring her tea. Across from her, Clinton scrolled through his phone. The silence between them was suffocating. Nellie took a deep breath, steadying herself before she spoke. "Clinton, why did you lie to me last night?" Her voice was calm, but laced with unmistakable hurt. Clinton's fingers froze mid-scroll. He looked up slowly, his expression blank. "What are you talking about?" "I heard you on the phone," Nellie said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I heard you talking and laughing. But when I asked, you told me you were checking the locks. Why did you lie?" Clinton felt the blood drain from his face. He hadn't expected this. His mind raced, searching for a way out. "Nellie, are we really going to do this first thing in the morning?" he snapped, pushing his chair back slightly. "I just want the truth," she said, her gaze steady. "You lied to me, Clinton. Who were you talking to?" Clinton let out a short, bitter laugh. "So now I can't even have a phone call without being interrogated. Why are you always trying to start a fight? Why do you always feel the need to monitor me?" Nellie flinched at his harsh tone. "Clinton, it's not about monitoring you. It's about honesty." He exhaled sharply and stood up. "You know what? Maybe you should stop looking for problems where there are none. You want to scatter this marriage, don't you? You're giving room to the devil with all these suspicions. Even after God has used the pastor to warn us to be careful." Nellie's throat tightened, and tears pricked her eyes. Was she really the one being used by the devil? Was she the one ruining their marriage? She lowered her head and whispered, "God, please help me. Help me with my weaknesses. I'm trying to be better, please." Clinton grabbed his briefcase and stormed out without another word. The slamming of the door echoed in Nellie's heart. She remained at the table, bowing her head in silent, desperate prayer. She cried and asked God to please intervene and save her marriage. She asked God to please help her in the areas she was weak and failing. At work, Clinton couldn't shake the guilt gnawing at him. A part of him knew Nellie had a right to be upset, but he refused to accept responsibility. He picked up his phone and called Sandra. She was his friend, so what's the harm? Besides, Nellie was just so annoying these days, he thought to himself. "Hey," she answered, obviously happy that he called. "Hey, Clinton." Sandra's voice was warm and inviting. "I'm so happy you called. I was actually just about to call you. Are you free this evening? I was thinking we could grab a drink and just unwind. You've been sounding stressed." Clinton hesitated, smiling, but only for a moment. "Yeah, I could use a break. That's actually why I'm calling. Let's meet after work. You know, just hang out, chill and relax. I know this new lounge that's opened up in town." "Sure, I'd love that," Sandra replied, excited. "I can't wait to see you." "Can't wait to see you too," Clinton responded. He hung up the phone, smiling to himself. Then he sent Nellie a message. "I have an after-work meeting. Don't wait up." When Nellie read the message, her heart clenched, but she said nothing. Instead, she whispered another prayer, surrendering it all to God. The dim lighting of the lounge cast a golden hue over the room. Sandra looked radiant, her eyes twinkling as she smiled at Clinton. "It's so good to see you relaxed," she said, taking a sip of her cocktail. "You always seem so tense." Clinton chuckled. "Yeah, things at home have been complicated." Sandra leaned in slightly. "You know, Clinton, I've always admired you. You're such a hard-working, good man. I don't know why anyone wouldn't appreciate that." Clinton sighed, running a hand through his hair. "It's like Nellie and I are speaking different languages these days. We used to be so close. Remember, everyone used to call me your wife, but now—" She laughed gently. Sandra placed her hand on his. "I get it. Sometimes, people take us for granted. But you deserve happiness, Clinton. You deserve to be with someone who truly sees you. Clinton felt a strange warmth at her words. It felt good to be seen, to be understood. He convinced himself that this was just an innocent conversation between old friends. What was the big deal? On his way home after dropping Sandra at her place, the pastor's warning echoed in his mind. Do not let the hedge around your home be broken. He shook off the thought. Nellie welcomed Clinton home with a quiet smile, but he barely acknowledged her. I made dinner, she said softly. I'm not hungry, Clinton muttered, heading to the bedroom. Nellie watched him go, a deep sadness settling in her bones. She didn't argue. She didn't push. Instead, she sat at the dining table alone, eating in silence, whispering yet another prayer. Sunday morning, Nellie woke up early, hoping Clinton would join her for church. But as she dressed, he remained in bed, scrolling on his phone. Aren't you coming to church? She asked cautiously. Clinton stretched and yawned. I have an urgent meeting. I can't make it today. Nellie frowned. An urgent meeting? On a Sunday? Clinton's eyes darkened. Yes, Nellie. I have responsibilities. Or do you want to argue about that too? She sighed and picked up her purse. All right. I'll pray for you. You do that, Clinton muttered. After church, Nellie stayed back. The sermon had sent chills down Nellie's spine. Beware of spiritual blindness. The enemy doesn't come with a roar, he whispers, planting small seeds of destruction. She clutched her Bible tightly and whispered, Lord, open Clinton's eyes before it's too late. Please don't let the enemy destroy my home. Please, Lord, have mercy and forgive us. While Nellie was at church, Clinton called Sandra. Let's meet up, he said. Perfect, Sandra purred. I was hoping you'd call. Clinton got into his car, turning up the radio as he drove. He felt lighter, almost free, but as he switched lanes, a loud horn blared from his left. He turned his head just in time to see the blinding headlights of an oncoming truck. The impact was immediate. The world spun. Glass shattered. The last thing he heard was the echo of the pastor's voice in his mind. Do not let the hedge around your home be broken. Then darkness. Bystanders rushed to Clinton's car, pulling open the crushed door as he lay unconscious, blood trickling from his forehead. A kind-hearted couple nearby offered to take him to the hospital in their car as the ambulance was taking too long to arrive. They carefully carried him into their vehicle and sped off. At the hospital, Clinton was rushed into emergency care. The couple stayed behind, holding onto his phone, unsure of whom to contact. As they debated their next move, a message popped up on the screen from someone named Sandra. I have a surprise for you, and I can't wait to give you a good time when we meet. The couple exchanged uneasy glances. They decided to call Sandra, assuming she was someone important in Clinton's life. When Sandra picked up, they quickly explained the situation. Hello, is this Sandra? We found your message on this man's phone. He's been in a terrible accident, and his condition is critical. Can you come to St. Luke's Hospital? There was a brief silence before Sandra's voice snapped back, cold and detached. What? Who? Please. I don't want to be involved in any way. I'm not responsible for him. Don't call me again. I am not his wife. The line went dead. The couple stood frozen in shock, staring at the phone. The woman shook her head in disbelief. Wow, who treats someone like that? And to think he was actually on his way to meet her. Her husband sighed. She's obviously not his wife. Maybe we should find his wife instead. She deserves to know what's happening. And with that, they scrolled through his contacts, searching for a number belonging to his wife.